What your Monster Hunter weapon says about you. Greatsword, the most iconic weapon of the series that hardly anyone uses, since it's one of the hardest weapons to actually use. You're a master of the game, capable of predicting monsters' movements 3 steps in advance. Or, people are gonna think you're from Chicago, the Windy City. I said Chicago, the Windy City. Okay, fine, next weapon. Longsword. You're the weeaboo wonder who's wildly whipping it out. Your cosplaying is one of those blind sword masters, since you don't see the difference between the monster's tail, where you should be cutting, and the monster's head, where you always seem to be going for. You have 2 types of moves that might hit one thing, and moves that always hit everything, including your teammates. So of course you're going to spam those types of moves to the detriment of your teammates. And you wonder why you're never invited to the cookout. Sword and Shield. You're either a first-time player and you don't realize that you start the game with one of every weapon in your box already, or you're a long-time player who's gone full circle, tried out every weapon, and realized that the default weapon is one of the best weapons. Also, you will never sheath your weapon even when it makes more sense to dash. Dual blades. You are incredibly smart, incredibly handsome, and you have excellent taste, because why use one sword when you can use 2 swords, idiots? You also need to take a break every 5 minutes to drink your weapon's life support to make it viable at all, known as Mega Dash Juice. Let it rip! Hammer. You like being stepped on by the monster. You welcome the challenge. You always eat for Feline Provoker, and you would never make the same mistake that Thor made.
You should have gone for that.
Hunting Horn. Before Rise. You're the cheerleader. You're the backup dancer. You have to constantly pull up the pause menu to look up your songs, only to immediately pause it again because you forgot which note corresponds to which button. You feel like you did 90% of your contribution at the start of the quest, and when your teammates see you off in the corner doing nothing, they'll think, oh, they must be using more songs, when really you're pausing the game to read your sheet music. You also find it hilarious that one of the biggest weapons is also somehow one of the fastest. After Rise. You saw breakdancing in the trailer, now you play like you're auditioning for a DaBaby video. Lance, you prefer the simpler things in life. You're here to fight monsters, not learn crazy combos. Memorizing overcomplicated pages of tutorials is a waste of time. With the Lance, your combos are poke, 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 and run, 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 poke. Gunlance, you do not exist. Nobody uses Gunlance. I'm sure there are a few people who use Gunlance. Switch Axe. You either just started and don't realize there's a sword mode, or you watched the Monster Hunter Championships and saw the winning teams are all using the Swax. Charge Blade. You enjoy reading PDFs. Charge Blade Guide, let's see here. While in sword mode, attacking with charge files, super amp elemental discharge. This will be the most frequent use of the super amp. Insect Glaive. The floor is lava, and you are French. Je suis monte! Light bow gun. You cannot count and will try shooting when you need to reload on every single round. You like the rapid fire shots so you can miss 3 times instead of 1. Heavy bow gun. You are incredibly stubborn and have a short memory because you will always go into crouching fire right next to the monster and then act absolutely shocked when the monster hits you. Bow. You like using sleep arrows and putting the monster to sleep just for your teammates to immediately wake it up before you're able to place your bombs because they're playing with the music muted. Or you're always asking people to do a Teostra hunt with you so you can get the 8% drop and need to upgrade the only other good bow in the game. Thank you for watching. These are all just jokes. I like every weapon. Subscribe for more Monster Hunter and more videos on other video games, and that's it. Video's over.